I'm not sure what to think of this situation. I'm not exactly the good guy in this, but I hope you guys can give me some insight.
So we met through a shared friend who I'll call Harley. GF and I started dating in March 2025, and everything felt really natural at the start. She quickly became attached to me and said she loved me after about 2-3 weeks of dating, something I wasn't prepared for. I liked her a lot, but I couldn't bring myself to say it back so soon as it's nipped me in the butt before. I explained my reasonings to her, and she seemed to understand. The next day, she's out on a girls' night and FaceTimes me. Her and friends are super drunk, and one of them is saying, "Say that you love her," over and over. I said, "Have a fun night, dear, I'll talk to you later." I ended up taking a tiny step back after this because I felt like she lied about understanding my perspective and told her friends her true feelings. We would see each other about 3-4 times a week. She would sleep over at my dorm quite often, and after a couple weeks, I think sometime mid-April, I was able to confidently say that I loved her. When she wasn't around, I was often hanging out with Harley, my close friend since the beginning of September, who was also GF's best friend, hence how we met. Harley went to college with me and lived down the hall from me, while GF lived at home about 20 minutes away and works at a restaurant. She did not go to college. Harley and I got along really well and would do things like chores, get food, and study together. I'm a pretty heavy drug user, and I thought it was good for me to be hanging out with someone that I do responsible things with. Well, around early May, everyone is drinking in my dorm. GF is at work. Very good vibes all around. Harley is a very touchy and flirtatious person, and although my heart belonged to GF, Harley and I were definitely becoming attracted to each other. She would say things like, "I wish I could find a man that takes care of me the way you do for GF." Anyways, that drunk night, we cuddled under a blanket while everyone was talking. Nothing promiscuous, and in my head, I justified it by saying that this is just how Harley is with friends. Things like this continued on, but without any physical touch. And for the last week of school, I really had to put GF on the back burner and was spending almost every day with Harley in order to do well in classes, which went well. We go home mid-May and the summer begins. Both my parents and GF's parents will not let us stay the night, so that was difficult because of the routine we were used to, but not really a problem for me. We lived 50 minutes apart and we saw each other 1 to 2 times a week during the day. Harley was asking me if she could come to my house to see me, so I asked GF and she said it was fine. Harley and I just had a normal day, grabbed lunch, watched a show, no lines crossed, no nothing. About a month later, I start staying at my friend's house so that GF can stay the night. She comes over, we fooled around a couple times at night and then again in the morning, and then both of us go to work. Later that day, GF tells me that she's going out with Harley and some female coworkers after work. I told her to have fun and to call me at some point. I end up falling asleep playing video games and missed her call at 2 a.m. The next day, everything seems normal. I say good morning, she says she loves me. I go about my work day, she goes about hers. She calls me around 8 p.m. and says, "I have to tell you something, and I'm so sorry. Last night, Harley and I had a threesome with one of our coworkers. We just caught a vibe, and I don't know what happened. I was so drunk." I'm crushed as my heart still belonged to her, and I also can't believe Harley would be a part of this and wouldn't stop her or text me saying anything at all. My world flipped upside down, and I immediately said that I couldn't be with her anymore. She started to beg, saying that it was the biggest mistake of her life and that she doesn't know what happened or how she could do this, that it's the worst thing she's ever done, and if she could take it back, she would. I said I would meet with her in person and hear her out. She came over, and of course, being the bitch I am, I saw only the good in her and forgave her because she sounded so remorseful at the time. We ended up having some really good hate sex that night, and she promised 1,000 times over that she would never do anything like this again. I explained to her that as good as we are together, this relationship is on a trial period until I feel like she's been transparent enough. The next day comes around and she goes to work, and I feel terrible now that she's gone. My head starts racing, and I start wondering about details. She comes over that night and I'm asking her questions and she gives me slight glimpses and says she was so drunk she really can't remember. The next day and I call Harley and she apologizes, whatever, it's not about her. I almost feel like she was trying to break us up though. Harley tells me that they were taking shot after shot and it's all a bit blurry, but the three of them all had sex in the shower together and that I should definitely break up with her.
Of course, being a bitch and only seeing what she showed me, the sweet and good parts of her, I didn't break up with her and let her explain herself further. She said that there's no excuse for what she did, but she was sad. She felt like I wanted to be with Harley more than I wanted to be with her. I decided to be honest and own up to what I did that drunk night, and also how we did flirt often and that none of it was promiscuous. Immediately, her demeanor changes completely, and she went to the bathroom for about 20 minutes and came out saying she was going to drive home. I convinced her to stay, and we ended up being okay. About a week later, I get a little worm in my brain that tells me to check her phone, because I told her to tell me when she works with that guy that she cheated on me with, and she hadn't told me once. While she was sleeping, I unlocked her phone and found a 3-minute video that she sent to her friends. The day after we made up and had hate sex, she worked a shift with this guy, and she went into detail on how they flirted towards the end of the shift. She ended up driving him home and said, "If I was a shitty person, I would have just broken up with my BF and started fucking you." Well, I'm crushed again. And again, I let her whisper sweet nothings into my ear after confronting her on the phone. Boy, she was so good at that. The way she talked to me sounded so genuine that I couldn't help but have her over again that night and make up again. Wow, writing this all out is starting to sound really pathetic. After this, we had about 2 months of really good boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, like house sitting for 2 weeks for my friend, where we made a lot of great memories. School starts up again, and some of my friends hate her for what she did, so she didn't come around too often, and I was sneaking into her house at night so we could sleep together. Her mom caught us one night, and so we weren't seeing each other at night anymore, and we would go on lunch dates and go to the gym and take hikes every other day. This last Friday, after I just paid the bill for dinner for us and her sister, and they dropped me off, she sends me a text, "Hi baby, I didn't say yes yet, but my girl coworker is having a birthday party tonight, and she asked if I could DD, and I just wanted to run it by you first." I said that I'm not going to force her to do anything, but I feel really uncomfortable with her going out with coworkers because of what happened 3 months ago. She continues to give reasons why I should trust her and then starts saying things like, "I don't think you'll ever fully trust me again." To which I said, "I just need time and consistency." And I reiterated that I'm not going to force her to do anything, but that actions have consequences. She decided that she's going to go out anyways. She's texting me the whole night she's out. At 12:32, she texts me, "I love you, Papa, I miss you," red heart. At 2 a.m., I decide to check her location, and I see that it's different from the one she originally told me she'd be sleeping at. I start calling her to no response. I look up the address and see it belongs to the parents of the guy she cheated on me with. Of course, I freak out and start spam calling her. She picks up. "What?" she says angrily. "Baby, where are you? FaceTime me." Respectfully, I'm holding my friend's hair out of the toilet. I'm not going to FaceTime or take a picture. I just need reassurance. I'm not doing this right now. And then she turns off her phone. Immediately, I block her on everything except messages and delete all our photos. Any advice on how to deal with this pain would be greatly appreciated. I sent her a barrage of texts saying things like, "I can't believe you're capable of doing this to me. This is the most disgusting thing anyone has ever done to me. You owe me a conversation." I'm up all night feeling like I've been stabbed in the chest. She doesn't text me back until 9 a.m. and calls me, saying things like, "I'm so sorry, you have every right to be mad at me. If I quit the restaurant job, this never would have happened. I just like him because he picked me first." She told me that she knew she was going to cheat on me before I even paid for dinner. This was premeditated cheating. She wasn't even drunk. I'm just so upset over how she did this. She lied to me for so long, saying she loved me and that she wanted to have my kids one day. I really believed her. But looking back, I just feel so stupid. I asked her why she wouldn't just break up with me if she knew I was going to cheat. Because I just couldn't lose you. Like, the way that I caught her and how cruel she was to me, continued to lie to me even when I had all the evidence. I don't know, I just am at a loss for words, and even typing this out hurts because I just can't wrap my head around how you can lie so comfortably, coming up with a whole fake situation when you could have just broken up with me. Well, I asked for the $200 that I paid at dinner and to give me my clothes back. I'm going to try my best to be cordial when I see her on Friday, but currently it still really stings. So much so that I spent an hour typing this all out. I hope you guys can give me some insight on what I should do. I want to claim power back, but I guess I can't? I don't know. Any advice would be helpful.